I have aspirations to own, rentals and go on to do bigger and better things. But when I came across Jason, we met, biggest thing for him, the question he always asked me when I brought him deals was, why not take it down yourself? So that's really kind of broadened my horizons even more over the last couple months, because now I'm not really looking at properties as, how am I going to wholesale this? Who's my buyer? What's my assignment fee going to be? It's more so like, I'm going to position myself in this deal as the buyer until it makes sense to maybe pass it off to somebody else. So, like I said, it's been a pleasure to meet him and be a part of this community that, he's introduced me to. So, that's one thing that I want to keep working on, is finding people with the money and, working with people, private money lenders, people that can, back me financially to take down these deals myself if I needed to. So that's shifted my perspective from these wholesalers that, within this wholesaling aspect across the country, where these regulations are coming down on people, because people are just looking at wholesaling as just, how can I get in this with no risk? And there's all these bad apples going on. So I'm looking to just shift that and really look at these deals as, how can I take it down? How can I provide value? And if not, I'll pass it on to somebody else that can do that.
Yeah, for me, my appointments got tremendously better when I went there knowing that I could buy it. And I only wrote offers that I knew I could close on. So in the past, I would put something under contract and, fingers crossed I could find a buyer, and we'd end up with a cancellation, or I knew the numbers didn't work and the guy wanted this much. And all right, you know what? Let me just get the contract and lock it up and try to force it into the marketplace. And all those wasted time, and wasted time doesn't add up to a payday. Like if I don't want to make money, like I'll just stay home and do nothing, right? I'd rather just write offers that make sense and move on. And that's always been a key thing for me. And to add to like the appointments, going on an appointment that you can close on, your confidence and your control is there at the appointment. Whereas going on the appointment and not knowing who the end buyer is going to be is a scary situation for someone that doesn't have like a deep reach into the marketplace. So that first deal that we talked about, we assigned it with a partner. We took $3,000 into as profit, right? But that was like 2018, and I didn't know how to fund it. I didn't know who could help me, like someone like Daniel or some other lenders. Had we bought that and just held it into COVID, there would have been a couple $100,000 of appreciation on that property. And then maybe we would have unloaded it, right? So, I love wholesaling. It's a lot of fun. The money, when it comes in, it's like such a great feeling. But when you look at the bigger picture, if you could get that nice payday down the road, like that's really what this is about, as an investor.
Hindsight is always 2020, right? With all the knowledge that you have now and all your experiences, what one piece of advice would you give yourself at the beginning?
I was working in the union for like 21 years. I'm a member for 21 years. So when I'm trying to do real estate, I'm working overtime. I'm working silly hours, like 10-hour days. Like my man Mike over there, we were just talking, there he is, right? And it's impossible to scale a business, right? It's just, so you have to eliminate the distractions, right? Where you have to be really good at time blocking, of which I am not good at either one of those. So I was taking advice from the wrong people. So when I started contracting, I would take advice from employees, not people that were successful as contractors. And they would put their fears in my head, and I would kind of like try to navigate both spaces. So I only take advice from people that are doing the things that I want to do. And that would be the advice to myself. And then I would also say that you need to give yourself enough time to focus on one thing to get really good at it. Otherwise, you're just going to have a bunch of things that are like loose ends, like nothing's ever complete. And right now, like I feel like I have a bunch of loose ends. So that's why I can say that. So the pivot is to really just hammer down and get good at one thing, become really proficient at it, and then build from there. Because then once you're good there, systems and process will take control. But you have to convince yourself in the beginning that you can do it. Again, being an imposter in your head, that you don't know what you don't know. So you got to find the people that have done it and can kind of put you on the right path to get there. And that's my advice to myself. But yeah, thanks for coming out, everyone. For the rest of the time, let's just hang out, network, and enjoy some fresh bagels.